Hello, and welcome to our first training video, Section Listservs. In this video, we're going to cover the basics of how sections work, how to send messages, and how to help members with common problems they'll encounter on the listserv. I'm Justin Leedy, and let's get started. ASA gives each section two different types of listservs, announcement lists and discussion lists. Announcement lists are designed for you as a section officer to send a message to all of your members. All members are automatically enrolled and only officers can post. The other type of listserv, the discussion list, is designed for your members to reach out and communicate amongst each other. Members have to voluntarily enroll themselves on the discussion lists. Let's learn a little bit about how to send a message. So say you, as an officer, want to reach out and contact your members. Well, first you start by sending an email to the listserv. That's you. Because of the amount of spam out on the internet, the listserv does not automatically send everything to members. Instead, it requires a confirmation. The listserv receives your message and sends you a confirmation email. In order for you to send the message out, you have to click on a link in that email. If you don't get an email back, let me know, because the listserv may be having a problem. Another thing you may need to do is check your spam filter or your junk mail folder. Oftentimes our listserv messages get sent there. So say you receive the message, you click the OK button. You basically are telling the listserv you meant to send that. No one's tricking it or doing anything of the sort. Well, then the listserv receives your message and kicks it over to the members at long last. It may seem like a convoluted process, but let's go through it step by step. It's really quite simple. Our first step is to go send an email message. So I'm going to open up my Outlook here, which is what we use at ASA, and type up a new message. Normally we'd send this to your listserv, but today we're going to do it on a test listserv. So sample discussion is the one that we have set up. And we'll do subject and content. So this is a test message. And we just send it out. The trick here is that our listservs use a pretty standard format. It'll be the name of your listserv - discussion at listserv.asanet.org. So all we have to do is send this out and then wait for a confirmation. Alright, we've skipped ahead a few minutes in time. Sometimes this can take a little while. And the sample discussion confirmation request has arrived in my inbox. If everything's working, you'll get a message like this. It'll say, for security reasons, the blah blah blah. And then it will give you a link right here. Another thing you can do is check on the message itself. It always attaches the message. You can open it, and you can see right there, this is a test message. Then we can go back and we can activate the message. It'll open your browser and take you to a window that looks like this, and it'll say message successfully approved. Now if we click it again, just in case we don't think we've done it right, if we click it again, you'll get this. It'll say confirmation code does not correspond to any pending command. That means that the message has already been approved and you don't have to worry about accidentally sending it twice. Now say you look at your message and you see that there's a big typo in there and you really don't want it to go out. Well, all you have to do is just leave it alone. Don't approve the message. If the message isn't approved, it won't go to your members. So you could always delete it. And it's that simple. So let's see if we've gotten the confirmation that it's been sent out yet. Right here. So we click right here. It'll tell us your message dated blah 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 with subject has been successfully distributed to your list, to recipients. Now it'll tell you the number should be approximately the size of whatever your section is. As you noticed, my confirmation message was sent to the deleted items folder. That's because I get so much listserv traffic from commands and errors that mine automatically go in there. But this is a good example because in your case it might accidentally end up in the spam folder. You may need to right click on it and mark as not junk mail or mark as safe sender, depending on whatever your email system is. Alright, let's talk a little bit about moderation. Now, as a section officer, likely a chair, you're going to be getting a few replies back to your messages. And every so often, someone will want to post an announcement to your list. Now, whenever this happens, you'll get an email that looks like this. It'll say the name of your section, listserv, and approval required. And it'll say this message was originally submitted by so-and-so, in this case my other email address. And it says you can approve it using the OK mechanism, which is the same exact thing that you would use when you're sending out an email. So you have a URL down here, and if you click on it, you'll activate the message. If you don't click on it, the message will sort of fade away in a few days. It'll be forgotten. Like your confirmation, you can always see what they're reading or what they're writing by clicking on the attached email. So it says this too is a test message. Well, hypothetically, let's say we would want to forward that along. So we click here, and we get that same message successfully approved note that we did earlier. And just like before, if we click it twice, it'll tell us that this isn't really an active command, so you don't have to worry about bombarding people with extra email. In fact, what's nice about this is you don't have to worry about accidentally letting things through at all. If say you get an email like this and it says, "Dear so-and-so, I really want to talk to you about this," you could always just click reply. Or actually, you could actually open it and then click reply. And you can see it already has the two set up to reply to them. One thing you have to keep in mind with the listservs, whenever you're doing any sort of replying or conversations, is to watch the to field. You want to be careful when doing private replies not to accidentally write anything to the entire list, because then you'll bombard people with email, or you may inadvertently say something you didn't want to say to everybody. So that's moderation. Moderation is pretty straightforward. The trick to keep in mind is how many emails do you think your members are comfortable receiving on a daily basis. Some sections moderate their lists very carefully and will only sort of gather everything together and to send out once a week. Other lists, they are much more free-flowing and they let everything through and sort of deal with issues as they arise. Alright, we're going to talk a little bit about how to add people on your lists. So if you are talking about an announcement list, members are automatically added at the start of each month. Rather, I add them manually, but you don't have to worry about that. However, that means that if someone joins at the beginning of the month, say the 5th, and I added everyone at the 3rd, they won't get messages for a few weeks. So that's a normal thing that people have to expect. If you get questions from members saying please add me, and it's the 8th and they only just joined, then let them know that they have to wait a little while. Now if they joined last month and it's this month and they still haven't gotten anything, then let me know and I would be very happy to add them or see what's going on. If that's sort of the same rule if you have people who've changed email addresses. Just let me know and I will work to resolve it. That's just a simple matter of removing the old one and adding the new one. For discussion lists, it works a little differently. Members add themselves on. And that is a relatively simple process that we're going to go over right now. All right. When adding someone, or rather they have to add themselves, they can get a little bit of information from our ASA website. So right down here it says communications and using section listservs. And if you scroll down, or actually look right here, discussion listservs, and there's a subheading that says to subscribe to a discussion listserv. It says to start a new message, leave the subject blank, clear everything out of the message, and then type in subscribe and then the name of your list. So let's look at how that works. We start a new message, listserv@asanet.org. That's the listserv sort of command address. We delete everything else, no subject, and we go subscribe, sample, and we can check here, subscribe, sample, or rather sample discussion. And let's click send. And we skipped ahead a few minutes until we got the feedback from the listserv, and let's see what it told us. There is no sample discuss. Well, why on earth did we get that? That's because I entered in the wrong address. So let's try that again. Listserv, delete everything, subscribe, and then I'm going to make sure I get it right. Sample discussion. So I'm going to copy that. Sample discussion. And we're going to send that out. Although I unintentionally misspelled it, it's a very good teachable moment. Alright. While we were waiting, we got the email from the reply earlier, and it came through, and this is what it looks like when you get one. So here we go. We resent the sample command, or the subscribe command, and it tells us that we're already subscribed, which basically means that the command went through and was read. So to review, it's a blank message to listserv@listserv.asanet.org. Actually, what we'll do is we'll copy this and we'll make it really big. That's the address for whenever you have any command that you need to send to the listserv. And then say we were subscribing, we'd go subscribe and sample discussion. Yeah, you don't add the end part of the email address on there. You just type in the name of the list. So what happens if we get a request from someone who's not a member of a section and they want to get on the announcement listserv because they're a scholar interested in that subject area? Well, unfortunately, we can't add them to the announcement listservs, as they're one of the benefits that members get for becoming a section member. So really, although we don't want to keep people out, we really want to sort of invite them in. It's one of the incentives, so that's one way of looking at it. Another thing that comes up, one of the most frequent problems that your members will run into on the listservs is that they're overwhelmed with email. They get too much stuff, and it may not even necessarily be you, but it's just too much email in their inbox, and they want to be removed. Well, you have a few options. If they just plain want to be removed, let me know. However, if they really do like the content that they're getting from the listserv, they have the option to enroll in a digest. Digests are weekly emails that combine together all of the messages that were sent out on the list that week. And the digests are sent out on Thursdays. So, and it's all sent in one convenient package. It's one message instead of 20 messages, and it's sort of sent like a newsletter. I'm going to show you how to set up a digest. Digests are pretty straightforward. it's really the same thing as enrolling in the section discussion listservs. So if we go back to the asanet.org sections listserv page again, we can scroll down and find digests. It's right at the top actually, and it gives you it's the same instructions almost. So you send a new email to listserv at listserv.asanet.org, but instead of doing the sign up, you would use this command instead. So we'll actually just copy it, and that's what I advise people to do. So just paste that there. Same thing. Whenever you're sending a command out, you want to get rid of your signature. Listserv. And then we want to enter the name of the list. So sample discussion. Again, we don't add in the address for the list. We just enter in the name of the list. So what are we doing here? Or rather, I think I might have did this the wrong way. So we remove list name and we enter the name of the list. So what are we doing here? We are telling the listserv to set that one list to give them a digest. And really this stuff is in here so that the digest looks pretty. This is unfortunately something you can't do for them. They have to send the email themselves. If they're having a hard time with it, just let me know and I can set them up for it. So they won't get any email for the first few days, and then they'll get an email on Thursday once the digest goes into effect. So let's take a look at what it looks like when the digest works. So when you send the command to the listserv, after a few minutes you'll get a message that looks like this. It'll list you back the command that you gave, and it says your subscription options have been successfully updated. And then it'll say what the subscription options are. It'll say digest. You receive digests rather than individual postings. MIME and header. This is all mostly email technical jargon, so you really don't have to worry about it as long as you copy and paste the command. It also tells you what day you join the list, which is a handy thing. So altogether, digests are a really wonderful option if you have a member who just is overwhelmed with email. They don't work as well if you have a member who just isn't interested in getting the messages. In that case, just forward their name and email address along to me, and I'll remove them from the list. And really, any lists that they don't want to be on that we run. Well, that's really everything in this presentation. So I want to take some time to thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and again point out that listserv page. That page has all of the basic commands that you and your members will likely need to use during their time on our listservs. Again, if you encounter a problem that you can't deal with those commands, or if it's just too much of a hassle, let me know, and I would be happy to resolve whatever is bugging you about the listservs. They are a fantastic piece of technology, but they're also a piece of technology that is rather temperamental. So I probably know them better than anyone here at the association, so I would be happy to help you. Again, thank you for watching, and best of luck during your time as a section officer. Thank you.